Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are putting our magnifying glass directly onto something absolutely critical.
The operational engine.
Yeah.
For basically every online business.
Exactly. We're talking about conversion rates, and for this deep dive, we've pulled a stack of sources that, frankly, challenge a lot of the old ways of thinking.
That's right. The mission today is to fundamentally reorient your focus. We really need to stop obsessing over the metric of volume, how much traffic you get.
And start focusing on efficacy.
Yes, efficacy, how effectively you turn the traffic you already have into actual committed customers.
Because if you're like most people, you've tried the checklist, you've read the blog posts, and you're still sitting there scratching your head wondering why your funnel just feels sluggish.
Mm-hmm. And the sources we've looked at, they all suggest that the really effective growth strategies are kind of hidden in plain sight.
Often, as one source put it, buried beneath layers of conventional wisdom, the stuff everyone else is still doing.
Precisely. And that's the initial challenge, isn't it? It's this tendency for marketers to chase vanity metrics. Page views, impressions, clicks.
Things that feel good on a report.
They feel great.
Yeah.
But they don't actually translate to profit. So we need to switch our focus entirely to core performance because the conventional strategies just lead to, well, conventional results.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Before we get into the really deep psychology, here's a question for you listening. When is the last time you truly mapped your user's emotional state as they moved through your site?
Not just where they clicked.
No, not just the heat maps and bounce rates. I mean their internal motivation. Because if you're missing that, you are leaving so much on the table. It's a costly oversight.
And that oversight brings us straight to the first hard truth that all the sources deliver.
Which is?
The core conflict. This deeply ingrained myth that traffic equals money is now definitively dead.
I think we all need to hear that loud and clear. For a decade, maybe more, the answer to slow sales was always just buy more traffic.
Just pour more in the top of the funnel.
But our sources completely dismantle that. They show the real problem isn't attracting more eyeballs. It's fixing the broken conversion machine that those eyeballs are looking at.
Think about it financially. If your conversion rate is low, bringing in more traffic, it just acts like an accelerator on an already leaky funnel.
So you're just speeding up your losses.
Exactly. You're literally just getting more people watching your money disappear as your acquisition costs just climb and climb. It's completely unsustainable.
That analogy, wow, it hits hard. But it's true. So what's the alternative? What do the sources suggest we do, like, right now?
It's a shift from big and expensive to something more surgical.
Okay.
What works instead is precision optimization. Why spend 10 times the money to get 10 times the visitors, only to keep the same terrible conversion rate?
Right, when you could just
double the effectiveness of the visitors you already have for a tiny fraction of the cost. Precision beats brute force. Every single time. It's a total shift from expansion to refinement.
And it really calls out that common mistake we've all made. I mean, I've been there. Throwing money at ads while my checkout page has, like, 7 clicks and asks for my grandmother's maiden name.
We've all been there. Throwing money at the front door while the engine is totally seized up.
And that leads us perfectly into what our sources call the hook, which is moving beyond these really basic optimizations.
Right. Once we stop obsessing over traffic, we see the inevitable result of that obsession. Visitors land on a page that is, frankly, a conversion wasteland, and they leave. Instantly.
It's the reality check every company needs. You fought so hard, spent so much to get that click.
Only for them to land on a confusing or slow or untrustworthy page.
Yeah.
And poof, all that acquisition budget just evaporates in seconds.
So the bottleneck isn't volume.
No, the sources are adamant. The true bottleneck is almost always conversion. They use this really stark example. You could have 1 million visitors, a huge number.
Yeah.
But if only 0.5% convert.
You're leaving serious money on the table.
Huge amounts.
Yeah.
And fixing that 0.5% to just 1%, it instantly doubles your business without $1 extra spent on ads.
That one little change, 0.5% to 1.0%, that's everything. That is the margin between just surviving and actually scaling.
Which is why we have to stop using those generic fixes, the 10 tips listicles that everyone's already tried. The sources promise these 3 overlooked multipliers. And they're not technical. They're rooted in deep psychological understanding.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. We're shifting gears.
Entirely. The next layer isn't about code. It's about cognition. how the human brain actually makes decisions.
So let's dive into the neuroscience of trust and urgency, because we have to focus on psychology that feels authentic.
Yes. Specifically avoiding things like those, manufactured testimonials that scream fake.
Oh, or my personal favorite, those annoying countdown timers that reset every time you refresh the page.
Ugh, the worst. They just burn trust so quickly. Instead, we need to create genuine subconscious triggers. Let's get into those 3 multipliers.
The first one is so clever, it's micro-commitments.
Explain that.
They're defined as these small, low-risk actions, tiny little yeses that pave the way for the big conversion later. It's like building cognitive momentum.
So instead of hitting a new visitor with this giant lead, form name, email, company, phone number.
Favorite color, all of it.
Right. You start with one simple quiz question, something like, which of these 3 challenges are you facing right now? That's the micro-commitment.
Exactly. And once they answer that one question, they've already invested a tiny piece of themselves. So asking for an email on the next step feels way less invasive.
It's progressive profiling. And that small first step just lowers the psychological barrier for the final big ask.
We see this with content unlocks, too. Instead of gating a whole report right away, you let them read the first chapter.
Build that curiosity, get them invested.
And then you ask for the email to unlock the rest. It's respectful of their time, but it builds that commitment.
Okay, so multiplier number 2 is the reciprocity effect.
This is the idea of giving genuine, undeniable value first, which then naturally compels the customer to want to give back.
And this is where so many businesses fail, right? They offer some fluffy, generic ebook that doesn't help anyone.
Yeah, that's not real value. True reciprocity means giving something uniquely helpful, maybe a free calculator that solves a really complex problem for them, or a personalized strategy session with absolutely no sales pitch attached.
When you provide that level of real, tailored service, the customer doesn't just feel obligated.
No, they feel grateful.
And that gratitude is what drives the conversion. It's way more powerful than any discount code. You've become a partner, not just another vendor.
Okay, and the third one, pattern interrupts.
This one's about breaking the scroll. You have to challenge the user's expectation loop in a way that's surprising and delightful.
But without being gimmicky.
Exactly. It's a fine line. It could be visual disruption, or maybe just unexpected messaging. Like maybe your pricing page is radically honest about who your product is not for.
Oh, I like that. That's surprising. And for the right person, it builds immediate deep trust.
It does. The whole point is to be interesting and relevant, not obnoxious. So real talk, and we really want to hear from you on this. What's the most cringe-worthy fake urgency tactic you've seen lately?
Oh, this is a good one.
Drop it in the comments. We need a good laugh, and it's a great way to learn what to ditch immediately. I saw a site recently where the low stock warning was on every single item.
Even the digital downloads.
Even the digital ones. It's just an instant trust killer.
That's terrible. Okay, so moving from psychology, let's get into the physical reality of the site. Frictionless journeys.
Yes. We have to find and just ruthlessly remove those hidden friction points that our sources say are murdering your conversions in cold blood.
Conversion murder. That is the right phrase because these things are often so subtle. Mandatory account creation.
Unexpected shipping costs that only show up at the very last second.
Ugh. Or just a confusing menu. A user was ready to buy, but one tiny little annoyance, one they probably can't even articulate, made them abandon ship.
And this need for simplicity connects directly to personalization. The sources are definitive here. Generic buttons like click here or submit, they're, so 2015, they're conversion liabilities now.
Adaptive content is winning. Personalized CTAs are now table stakes.
Absolutely. Think about it. If I'm a repeat customer, why is the homepage CTA still start your free trial?
Right. It should say, see new features or access your dashboard. Users don't just prefer this stuff anymore. They expect it.
But that sounds incredibly complex and expensive for smaller teams. What's the real barrier to entry here?
That's a great question. The sources do acknowledge the setup cost, but they argue the ROI is almost immediate. The lift in conversion rates pays for the investment very quickly.
You don't need $1 million system.
No, you just need smart data rules. Start small. Personalize one headline for your 2 biggest audience segments. Measure the impact. The lift you see will justify expanding it.
And the biggest friction zone of all, unsurprisingly, is form and checkout optimization.
Oh, yeah.
Every extra field is a chance for a user to bail. You have to be ruthless about minimizing those drop-off points.
We've all felt that frustration, right? You're about to buy, and suddenly it wants your secondary address, your birthday.
And your life story just to download a simple PDF. It's
Yeah.
absurd. If you don't need the information right now to complete the transaction, get rid of it.
So here's a direct challenge for everyone listening based on the sources. Go look at your checkout right now. How many form fields do you actually need to process a payment and ship a product?
Hint, it's probably half of what you currently have.
So what's stopping you from testing a radical reduction? Just down to the absolute essentials
Yeah.
today.
Now let's move into what might be the most overlooked area. Section 5, the power of post-conversion engagement.
The sources call this the forgotten conversion.
And it's where so much money is left on the table. The insight is that the real money isn't in that first sale. It's in turning that first-time buyer into a repeat customer.
Yet, what's the common practice? A business essentially ghosts their customers right after the sale. They get your money, and then crickets. The relationship just vanishes.
And acquisition is so expensive, retention is way cheaper, and loyalty multiplies lifetime value. So we need strategies that go beyond the standard "thanks for your order" email.
It has to be meaningful post-purchase communication. Value adds. Are you sending tutorials on how to actually use the product?
Are you providing content that helps them solve their next problem? Are you checking in just to make sure they're getting value, not just begging for a review?
It has to feel like a real relationship.
And layering in community building on top of that is so key. Creating a space where customers can interact, share tips, feel like they belong, that creates organic loyalty that paid ads could never, ever buy.
It turns your customer base into a self-sustaining ecosystem.
And the final piece here is surprise and delight. Using unexpected perks, early access, exclusive content, or maybe something as simple as a handwritten note.
Things that turn customers into evangelists, the people who do your marketing for you.
So another question for you all. Be honest. When's the last time a brand made you feel genuinely valued after you gave them your money?
Yeah, long after the transaction. Share your best or worst post-purchase stories in the comments. We can all learn from those.
All right, finally, let's look ahead. Section 6, future-proofing your conversions.
Our sources make it really clear here. AI-driven personalization and predictive analytics. They are no longer optional buzzwords.
No, they're becoming requirements. The sheer speed and scale of AI allows for real-time adjustments that manual A/B testing just can't compete with. It can predict what a buyer wants and serve it up instantly.
The sources actually provide a clear timeline. Today, most of us are stuck in the world of manual A/B testing, basic rules-based personalization.
But by 2025, the expectation is a shift to AI-powered predictive experiences, real-time optimization. The site should be changing its messaging, its offers, based on what a user is doing right now.
Not based on rules you set up last week.
And looking to 2026 and beyond, the whole game shifts again because of external pressures. Optimization will be defined by privacy-first, consent-driven personalization.
And this gets to what the sources call the privacy paradox.
That paradox comes from the death of third-party cookies and all the new privacy laws. Users want hyper-relevant personal experiences.
But they also demand and deserve strict privacy.
Exactly. So future optimization relies entirely on your ability to build deep, earned trust while respecting boundaries and explicit consent. The old ways of covert tracking are they're going to stop working.
So what does this all mean for your strategy? We've covered this huge shift, moving from chasing blind traffic to the surgical precision of psychological optimization.
To eliminating every single point of friction, and ultimately prioritizing post-purchase loyalty as the highest form of conversion there is.
The synthesis really is that true sustainable growth is built on quality, not quantity.
It comes from deep user empathy, using authentic psychological triggers, and building a future-proof strategy that respects where technology and privacy are heading.
So we want to leave you with one final question pulled directly from the source material, something to really think about as you map out your own plan.
Are you building your optimization strategy on a foundation that will actually exist in 2 years?
Or are you still clinging to methods and technologies that are already becoming obsolete?
Use the insights from this deep dive to look forward, not backward. And we genuinely want to hear your thoughts on all this. Let's make the conversation a learning experience for everyone.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.